everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at how to create this dashboard you can see on your screen using Power BI. This is a dashboard showing Kobe Bryant's career statistics from 1996 to 2016. Here we have the total number of points, number of assists, rebounds, steals. Here we also have the points by year and the top 5 seasons based on the total number of points scored. Here we also have the number of 3 points made per season from 96 to 2016. Here we also have a tooltip. When I hover, we have a tooltip applied that shows the number of games played per that season, as well as field goals and free throws. Let's get started. For the data sets, we're going to be getting data from this website, statmuse.com. I'm going to show you how to connect this to Power BI and extract data from this website. This is also known as web scraping. This website is a very good one if you want any sport data. It could be NFL, NBA, football, whichever one. So for our case, is an NBA data. So click on NBA, type the name of the player, in our case Kobe Bryant. You can see that he has a page. So this is the overview of his data. Then click on stats to get his statistics. So here, to navigate this part, we have two things. We have the per game, and we also have the per 30 minutes and totals. And I want to view this by totals. I'll click on totals and copy the link. You can see that here the website has been broken down to totals. So I'll copy this link and go to Power BI. Now in Power BI, I'm going to click on Get Data, click on Web, then paste the URL, click on OK. Now our page has loaded. So we have several tables based on what we saw on the website. So you can preview each and every one of these tables. Here we have the first one. And the interesting thing is that you can see the table view and the web view. When I click on the web view, it shows me the part of the website that this data is gotten from. So I'll go back to table view. So this is the one that we want, but you can look at other tables to find the exact table you want to extract from that website. So this is the table that we are interested in. I will just select this table and click on transform data. Now we're in Power Query, and this is what our data set looks like. And you can see that the column headers are generic column headers, column 1, column 2. And if you look closely, our column 1 is actually our column header. So I'm going to promote this column 1. I'll click on use first row as header. Okay. And here you can see that on this TM row, there is an empty value, 5% empty value. If you cannot see this, you can turn it on by clicking on view and turn on column quality. It helps you to understand each column and help you to be able to clean up your data effectively. So I'm going to look at this TM column to find out why we have blank. I'll filter for the blank. And you can see that the blank is actually because we have a total row, career total row. So I'm going to remove this row because we can easily calculate this using DAX if we need to. So I will delete this step. Then click on season, search for career, and deselect it to remove it. So you can see that it has been removed. And when you look at that TM column, you can no longer find any empty column. You can also look around to the other ones to also ensure that although Power BI has changed type for us, you double check to ensure that each column is being represented by the right data type, and which it looks like it's um, Power BI did a good work. So I am going to duplicate this season because I want to extract year from this particular season. I want the first part of this season column to be my year. So I will duplicate this, and on this I'm going to split it by delimiter, split column by delimiter. So the delimiter in this case is going to be the hyphen. So automatically we have the hyphen. So each occurrence of the hyphen, whichever one now in this case is okay because we only have one hyphen. So okay. We find out now that it has been split into two columns, and I'm going to just take this first one and remove this. So I'll remove this and rename this as year. So final thing I'm going to do to this data set here is to rename our table to data, then close and apply. Looking at the column headers here, we have the abbreviations. For example, here we have 3 point percentage and 3 points made, assist, and the rest of it. I have here the a data dictionary sort of to tell us what each and every one of this column, what the full name is actually. You have GP as games played, JS as game started, and all. Then mean as minutes and all. I'm going to add this to as a text to the description so that if you want to know what each and every one of these mean, you can actually make reference to that. So let's start building our visualizations. So the first thing we're going to do is to add our background picture. So I'm going to click on Canvas background, browse background. I already have this background, and I'm going to set the transparency to 90. Then set the image to normal fit. So we have this as our background. So let's start by building the card visual. I'll be using the new card. And on our new card, I want the points, so which is PT in this case, PTS. Sum of points. I will label them on the visual, but you can label your whole column. I just don't want to do that here because it take a while. Then I want assist, want the rebound, as well as the steals. So I'm just going to quickly rename them here. So for each and every one of them, I want them to be comma separated. So right now we cannot see the fourth one because of the layout. So I will click on format layout. I'm going to increase this to 4. So we have the fourth one. Then I'll go down to the card call out, select each one, point in this case. I want the display to be none. Then same thing applicable to assist, display none. Rebound, display none. And steals, display none. So, but for all of them, I want the size to be 30 and Sagui UI bold. Then alignment, center alignment together with the assist, mean the label. Then for the label, I want the label to be 14. Then I want to turn off the background. The padding, I want the padding to be 0 or true for the background. Then down here, the title is off. The layout, the space between cards, I want the space between cards to be 40. Then down to the card itself, I want the image the shape I'm going to be using to be rounded rectangle. And I'll customize this. I want everything to be 50%. Then the height of my card, 121 and width to be 860. Next, go to label. The space between the label and reduce that to 0. Then add reference label. Our reference label is going to be the average of each and every one of the metric that we're using. So for the first one, which is point, I'm going to add data. So I'll drag point to this. And instead of sum, I will select the average. So we have this. So I'm going to edit the title, custom name, remove this, and just have average and dot. Then I am going to do that for assist and rebound. Assist, select assist, average, edit the name, custom name, then average, the value itself, I'm going to display unit none, then no decimal places as well. So I am going to also change the display unit for point. Go to value, display unit none, and no decimal place. And I will add the reference label for rebound. Change that to average. Select the name to edit the title, custom. And go to value, select display unit as none, and number of decimal places, 0 decimal places. And finally, we have for steals. Select steal, change that to average, then select the average of steal, edit the name, then display unit none, and average, no decimal place as well. So I'll select everything now. On the reference label, all. Then I will turn off the divider. The layout, I want everything to be center aligned, and the spacing, I don't want any spacing so they can come up. So I'm going to go to the card, scroll down. The border is on, but I don't want the background. I want the background of our wallpaper to be showing, so I've turned off the background. For the border, I want the border to be this color. Paste this shade of purple, and the width to be 3. Down, I'll scroll down here. I'll turn on the shadow. And for the shadow, I want it to be custom. If this is not enabled, you can just select on this position and select custom. Then I want it to be 2 for the size, 4 for the size of the blower, then angle 40, and distance 10. Then distance 10, then transparency 75. Then the next thing I'm going to do is still on the color value. I will select all and change the color to this shade of purple. So we have our card. Next is to create a line chart for points by year. So I'll select line chart, drag that to this end. I want the height of 195 and width 404. Then add the points by year, the year that we created. Then I will drag year to the x-axis. So we have that. I'll now clean up the data. So for the line itself, I want the color of the line to be a shade of purple. Then let me expand this. I don't want the background, and I want to turn on the shadow. For the visual border, I want to turn that on, but I want it to be transparent, but the rounded corners to be 10. Then for the grid lines, I can quickly search for grid, and we have the vertical grid line. I'll turn it off, and the horizontal, I'll turn that off as well. Then for my y-axis and x-axis, we turn off the title of the x-axis and increase the font of, make it bold. Then for the y-axis, I will turn that off automatically, both the title and the value. Then for the title of the chart itself, I want to type title. I want it to be points by year. Okay, and I want it to be this shade of purple. So I can see that the border is still showing. I will change the color of the border. Change that from this color to white. So we have that. Next chart we are creating is the top 5 seasons, and it's going to be a bar chart. I'll select the bar chart here, drag it to this end, adjust it. I'm going to select points, then by season. So we have this. In order to get the top 5, we are going to use the filter bin. So I'm going to select seasons, then top N, 5, add the points column, apply the filter. So we have the top 5 by season. Then I'm going to clean this up. I'll start by turning off the background, turn on the visual border and shadow. Then the visual border is going to be white, rounded corner 10. Then I will, on the y-axis, I will turn off the title. Then on the x-axis, I'll turn off both the name and title, the value and title. Then turn on the detail label. Then position of the detail label, we want everything to be outer end so that they can be visible at that end. Then the bar itself, I am going to change the color of the bar to fit our color theme. Then finally the title, I'm going to rename the title to top 5 seasons. Then change the color of the title to this. Next is the column chart of 3 points made by season. So I'll select a column chart here, drag that to this end. So we just want it to fit this whole part. Then go to our data. We want the 3 points made. So this is the abbreviation for that. Remember from the data dictionary that we have. This is the 3 points made by season. So I'm going to select season. Then I'm going to sort this x-axis by season. So just click on this more option, sort as is. Instead of write and sort by the sum of 3 points made. So we're going to sort by season so that we can have from 2015 down to, okay, I'm going to sort that so that it's going to show from 96. So I'm going to sort it ascending. Right now it is descending. So we now have from 96 to 2015. So the next thing I'm going to do here is to edit the chart so that it will fit our color theme. And for that, I'm going to turn off the background. And for the shadow, I'll turn on the shadow and the visual border. Color of the visual border is white. Then rounded corner 10. Then for the x-axis, I will turn off the title. Then for the y-axis, I will turn off the title and the value as well. So for the color of the column, I'm going to apply conditional formatting. Click on effects. Highest value is going to be our purple. Paste that color code here. Then for the lowest value, it's going to be um, an ash color. So I'll just add the hex code. So we have this hex code for the lowest value. So we have that here. Then I'm going to turn off the legend for this. Search for legend. Turn that off. I don't need that. Then I'm going to turn on the data label. So we have the data label that is showing the 3 points made. So I'll edit the title. So just 3 points made by Susan. Then change the text color of the title. Align that to center. The next thing I'm going to do is to add a text box here for his personal information. So I'm going to click on text box, adjust that to this end, drag it down. The height of the text box is going to be 255 and the width 303. Adjust that to fit this part. Then turn off the background and turn on the visual border color white, rounded corner 10. Then turn on the shadow as well. So I'm going to paste his details I got from that same website, Statmos. So you can see that from the website, if you go to the website, you will find this detail as well, when he was born, date, height, and all. So I'll just drag this down a little so that we have space for our header. So for the title of this, it's going to be personal information. Click on this personal information. Then the size is going to be Sagir UI. Then it's going to be align center, and the text color is going to be this color, while the background is going to be our purple. Then I will need to take this up a bit and increase the font. Then I will add another text box here for the title of our chart. So I'm going to click on text box, drag it to this end. Then type my text. I'll just paste the text here. So we have the text, and I'm going to align that to center. Then edit the background. My background is going to be this color so as to fit. And the border, we're going to have white as well. Then rounded corner 10 and shadow, turn on the shadow as well. Then I'm going to reduce the height of this to 55. So we have our title. Finally, I'm going to add another image of Kobe Bryant here. So to do that, I'm just going to click on insert image. I'm going to add this particular one. then adjust the size. So we are done with the first page. The next thing I'm going to do is to add a tooltip page so that when we hover on this 3 points made, we can get more information. To do that, I'm going to click on new page and page information. This is going to be a tooltip. So I'm going to change the page type to tooltip. Then go down to canvas background. The color of the background, I want it to be this our color, and I want the transparency to be 28 because I want it to be showing. So the next thing I'm going to do is to add a card visual here on our tooltip. You can add any visual that you want, but for my analysis, I want to add a card visual of more information. So I'll click on new card. Then I'm going to select the games played, that's GP. Then add field goals made, that is FGM. Then also free throws made. So I'm just going to rename this free throws. So we have that showing. Then I'm going to edit this, edit the formatting so that we can really see what we have there. I'll turn off the background of the chart, adjust this. Our height, I want the height to be 107, width 310, horizontal position 5, and vertical position 52, which is fine. Then I will go down to the colored value. I want the colored value to be 18. Then I want the label to be 8 so that everything can fit in. Then also for the value itself that we added, so I'm just going to go back to that and add comma to each and every one of them so that everything can show with comma and to be readable. Then for GP, then within here, within values also, I'll just select games played and display unit none. Then for field goals, display unit none. Also for free throw, display unit none. So we have that. Then next thing I'm going to do is to turn off the background of the card so that it will fit with the um, background of what we currently have. Then on the label itself, I'm going to change the color to white so that someone can easily read. Oh, this is only showing for free throw, so I'll select everything. So it's important that you select all so that your change can be effected on all. So we have that here. Then next thing I'm going to do for the shape of the card, I want rounded rectangle and I want it customized. So customization, I want 20 top left, 20 on the right hand, and 20 on the bottom left corner. Then for the border itself, I want the color of our border to be this yellow. So we have our card. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to rename this as tooltip page so that if we are adding it to our normal page, we can find the particular page name that we want, tooltip. And usually for this page, it's advisable for you to hide it when you are publishing. So, and I'll go back to our page, which is this one. Then we want to add the tooltip to this particular visual. I'll click on it, then go to format, search for tooltip. So we have tooltips here. This is a particular one that we want, and in this case, for report page. So the page in particular is going to be our tooltip page. You can see that's the page here. So I'll select that. And once you've selected it, you can hover now and see the particular page that you set up showing here. So this can help you to add more information to just one page. So, and that is all for this report. An interesting thing with connecting to this web is that whenever the data on the web is updated, you can always refresh to get the latest data. So once you refresh, the latest data regarding the person you've set up is automatically showing on your on your report. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.